Stebbage and Chamberlain, the umpires, and Campbell and Jolly inside the centre circles. Opening bounce, Jolly thumps it down towards half forward. Osborne gets back though for the Hawks, taken high, feeds it off. Loney, bright sunny day, beautiful conditions for football. They'll run it up the ground as Crow gives it across to Bateman. Missed by Goods. Arriving quickly was, or as quickly as he can, Holland. He was taken down by Roberts Thompson. In from the side, Franklin once more. We've got a whistle and a bounce on the wing.
And Crawford, as I call, started in the forward pocket. He already makes his way up to this bounce. He won't be hard to spot with the green boots. That might have just been a ruse to try and open out the centre a bit, and he'll play on the ball from here on.
A secondary bounce, sort of. In front, Williams dragged down, didn't have the football. He's going to get the free kick.
So Williams goes inboard. Maxfield has the mark. A bit of byplay behind play, and the player has lost a boot. It's Williams, and I think it was Michael Osborne who
Threw it away.
Yes.
Well, I give up.
We'll talk about the spirit of the game shortly again. Hall couldn't take the mark. Off hands, ball knocked out. Sewell had a chance, couldn't grab it. Crow does. Gives it to Osborne. Caught by O'Keefe. Too high.
He ducked into that, Dane.
Umpire says play on advantage here. Loney sends the ball inside 50, and the mark's taken by Dixon. 45 out.
He did duck into that, but the one thing you would have to say about that also is there wasn't a break in play. He gets the ball off whether it would have been holding the ball or a high call, so play was allowed to continue.
Just the 10 games last year, Ben Dixon for 4 goals only, but has 190 career goals, and an opportunity to give the Hawks the first of the match. Beautiful day for football, and Dixon gobbles it up with a goal.
Have a look, Leo Barry is picking up Benny Dixon down at the other end. I thought Johnny Hay might have gone to Barry Hall, but Trent Crode is taking him, and we've seen that major match up there. Davis has been picked up by the young boy Thurgood, playing his first game as well, and Johnny Hay goes and picks up the resting ruckman.
Ben Dixon, who made his debut against the Swans, round 5 of 97 at Waverley. The game the Hawks won by 25 points. Opening goal of the afternoon in the sunshine. Campbell, stuttering approach, won it down. Schneider came in hard. Loney paddles it back towards his half-back line, smothered off the boot, spinning out of trouble Vandenberg. Picked up well by Buchanan, feeds it into the path of Maxfield, who hacks it down towards the pocket, and it runs out of bounds. So boundary throw in. Good crowd too, building all the time. Hard bump, Osborne on the end of it. That'll teach him to throw away the boot. Karma, that's what it is doing. Karma, throw it in front Jolly, over the ball Kirk. He attracts the crowd immediately, and a bounce about 35 metres out from goal.
Peter Everett, playing in the forward pocket, has forced the Swans to go with Jason Ball in their back line. Wouldn't have played or been forced to play in the back line too many times the last couple of years.
Osborne head down, taken down. Jolly got the hand pass to Schneider, feeds it back outside the 50. Williams surrounded. He had the green boots there quickly, and will have a bounce about 55 metres out.
Nice decision from Hayden Kennedy there. Didn't really dive over it. Just dived on as he got to it. Kennedy will bounce. Jolly do the ruck work against Campbell. He got a fist to it. Race on. Davis gets there first. Nice to see him gather a bit of his old form back, and a free kick for deliberate. So Chance Bateman with a chance from the wing. Sees Thurgood calling for it inboard. Ignores that. Goes to Crawford in those beautiful bright green Diodoras. Goes central. High kick. Here's Thurgood coming hard. Nearly got there. It was Crutch Rewald style. Ladson picked up the Crow. Went towards Everett. Good mark by Goods at fullback for the Swans. And Thurgood He was concussed in that clash with Rewalt. He's still in the hands of trainers now.
Bolton to Williams. Punishing kick up towards the wing. And the good mark is taken by O'Keefe. Young Thurgood, very courageous. O'Keefe inside the forward 50. Hall takes the mark, plays on, closes on goal, and kicks fully.
Gee, that's a good mark by Barry Hall. Trent Crowe tried to do the right thing, get to the front position here. And when he does, he loses contact. And then you see him actually lower his height. Watch, now see him get a little bit low, just try and feel. And Barry Hall's done him by then. Just helps him once he jumps. Just helps him under the ball. He's not a push in the back. That's well moved.
And this is the clash. Thurgood was in the hands of trainers, but he's up and okay now. But some courage there from the Hawk. Leaping Leo. Eyes for the ball, which was good to see as well. Ball back in the middle. A goal apiece. Campbell went high in the ruck, knocked it down. Bateman, he got a nice little one from Sewell, but couldn't find the target with his. Schneider slips it wide. Buchanan from 50. Post. And Buchanan, delisted at the end of 2003, but redrafted and nearly getting the Swans there second, but he puts them in front.
Loney to bring it in then. Straight down the middle, well, virtually straight down the middle. Jolly works in front of his marker, Campbell. It was punched on by Jacobs though. Sliding in Bolton. A pair of Boltons combined. Well done, Williams. Back to Kirk. Floats one inside the forward 50. Up was Davis. Couldn't hang on. Buchanan could have been taken high. Thurgood, another test for the young man. Played it well. Hand pass from Jacobs to Loney, who goes at right angles across the ground. It bounces wide of Sewell. Still some time. Now he's trapped out there at half-back to Hodge, who's naturally left-sided. Hall knew that, did well when he got to him, didn't buy the dummy and forced the error. Well, sometimes you've got to go with the right boot. He didn't, and Hall just looked at the body, didn't want to know about anything else.
Well, there you go. There's two extra possessions for no result, and the result should have been the initial kick down the ground, at least to a contest at centre-half forward.
Bolton, upended, hooks it around the corner. He's found his namesake again. They're combining well.
Well, that's a decision error. That original kick that should have gone down the ground that went chipped out wide to Sewell, which didn't find the target. And now, because it's remained in the vicinity, it results in a shot at goal.
Craig Bolton's got the footy. Grew up barracking for the Hawks. His footy idol was Darren Jarman. Now, Darren would find this one easy.
You could blindfold him and Fudd would kick it from there.
Well, let's see how closely Craig watched.
Good kick.
He was a very good student. Magnificent kick.
Now we'll look at the replays of this and say, right, that was an indiscriminate kick that went in. There's not much Hawthorn could do about it, but the error was made 30 seconds before, when Loney should have been able to spot up a kick 55 metres down the ground rather than retain it in the area.
And speaking of Craig Bolton barracking for Hawthorn, former Australian cricket captain and confessed Hawthorn fan Mark Taylor presented the Swans jumpers at their jumper presentation this year. Sure who he's barracking for this afternoon. Schneider came hard, couldn't get the takeaway. Loney nearly did. Ricochet kick. Jude Bolton again. Wobbles it towards half forward. A race on. Hodge, Buchanan, Osborne. Well done, Osborne. Provided a little shepherd for Hodge. Slips a shortish pass. Hoping for the new boy, Lance Franklin. Goods with him. Crawford, the poke. Kirk hard at him. Kept the ball alive, but Crouch might decide to take it over. And he did it with a nice disguise. He'll get a ball in. 13 plays 6. Opening term in beautiful bright sunshine here at the SCG after they've had a bit of rain in recent days.
Rained quite heavily yesterday. Jolly's in front, being held. I think he'll get the free kick. He will. From a Melbourne player. Kennelly, 25 metres out from his own goal. Spots Buchanan, makes it awkward though. Ball runs away from him. Hodge went to ground. Schneider plays it to his own advantage. He's outnumbered. Did it very well. Dragged down now. The ball doesn't come out. He's a bit lucky. Let's go down to Jason.
Yes, Dennis, look, tough initiation for young Lance Franklin being picked up by Adam Goods, and also the Swans are wearing the black armbands for Paul Harrison, a former player in the 60s and 70s.
Jason McCartney at boundary level as ball knocks the ball down. Good tackle, wraparound tackle on Brad Sewell, going nowhere with Williams and Jude Bolton wrapping him up, and we'll get another ball up. Brad Sewell, only 6 games for the Hawks, all 6 of them last season, even though this is his 3rd season on the licks. And there is the Sydney bench. Over the top, Jolly, big thump. Toe poke off the deck by Vandenberg. Gets the ball towards Crawford at half forward. Crawford, Crouch, Crawford, Vandenberg, Kirk. Crawford again. There's a free kick behind play.
Well, he worked out well, Richie. He was the one who initiated that with Brett Kirk.
I'll say you.
Rubbed him and scruffed him, and you'll see it here, gives him one. Now, Richie goes to get up now. The umpire starts casting his eyes to it, and Kirk says, hey, cop some of your own medicine, grabs onto him, and that's what the umpire sees.
And he got your word for that.
Chips to Hodge, short pass, that's smothered there. You talked about karma earlier, Dennis, there's a bit of it there. Craig Bolton gave it to Crouch. He goes toward Doyle, couldn't take the mark. Bateman got a little high by Maxfield, and the umpire did see it. Free kick to the Hawks.
No doubting that one.
And Sewell sneaked ahead.
Bateman squares it. Jacobs, who started well up from the back pocket.
Oh, that's a poor hand.
Ladson gathers it on the bounce. Goes inside the 50. Dixon was up, missed it. Lurking behind, this is Roberts-Thompson. Kicks to the wing. Bolton, will it get to him? No, well done, Ladson. Eventually, though, Bolton persists, gets the footy. Ladson comes over the top. Jacobs in there as well. Another ball up.
Quick change for the Swans. Nix comes on. McVeigh comes on. Bolton comes off. Maxfield comes off. That's a 3-way change. Another one's come on as well. Matthews.
So here's the bounce. On the wing. Jolly worked under it by Campbell. Campbell knocks it down. Eventually Osborne's got it. Dragged off it. Matthews. When looking for Bolton, missed him. Well done, Ladson. Got it to Sewell. Smothered by Matthews. It's out of bounds at the interchange gates.
Sydney, 7 of 9 games played here last year. Ball in. Of course, they played that final at Telstra Stadium instead of here. Free kick, push in the back. It'll go Matthews' way. Started on the bench. Then Matthews. They are rotating a lot, given the heat factor here. Held up. Sydney boy, a Sydney's own selection, and proven to be a pretty good player. Matthews long towards half forward. No mark taken off hands. Vandenberg caught, dispossessed. Crawford taps it away in the direction of Smith. Craig Bolton, Smith. Doyle lends a hand. And we'll get a ball up just inside attacking 50 for the Swans. As we go down to the boundary line, Jason McCartney.
Yes, Dwayne. Harry Miller for the Hawthorn Football Club's just come on for his first run. He'll play half forward. He's been picked up by Ty Kennelly.
Bounce. Inside the 50 then. Rucks wrestle. McVeigh spills wide. Kirk's over the football, at least initially. It's wide of him now. Eventually the umpire calls for it. Gave them every chance to clear it. Vandenberg clutches it. And the ball up. About 10 metres inside the 50. Won't be easy playing footy today. It's going to be pretty warm. By Kennedy puts it down. Campbell from behind. Bevan crashed to the turf. Sewell to Bateman to Hodge. Hodge goes wider still. Back from Jacobs. Wants that left foot. Round he comes. Pops it to space. Sewell runs on. Has a bounce. Goes up towards the wing. Kick is going. That's holding the football. And don't umpires love that situation? Immediately we saw umpires did it into his squat.
Great chase by O'Keefe, and was rightly rewarded.
He knew he was a show, O'Keefe. He saw the indecision on Sewell looking left, right, cocking a handball, bringing it back.
McVeigh has it now.
Yeah.
It's around the man on the mark. Spears the pass to Davis. It would have been tougher to get out of the way of that kick than to mark it. And it'll line up with no angle to contend with.
I reckon it's got left to right at the end here. And it had a bit of the, what's that? That's the Dennis Lilly in-swinger, Dennis.
That'll do, Derm, yes.
Both players went to, as we look down the ground from that shot, they both went to come out to our left, and the ball darted back to the right.
21 goals last year from his 12 games. He kicked 4 goals in the first half of the round 1 match against Brisbane last year. So, can he better that? And there's the kick of a known goal kicker. Sydney, hot in the sunshine early.
One of the things Nick Davis has always been able to do is kick the ball very, very well at distance, with accuracy. And what's this one? Yeah, they both go to the right, left, and then it darts back to the right there. Nice easy action. Good spot.
So the Swans have got the last 3 goals in this one after Dixon booted the first of the match. Ladson on for Bateman.
Only 3 Swans players in the square at the moment. And Jude Bolt comes back into the fray.
I think Bateman was a blood rule. Schneider's back on. Paul Williams takes a break. 13 points the margin. Hawthorn need to be careful here. Just over 8 minutes till quarter time. Good bounce. Jolly. In fact, it's Doyle who's in there now opposing Campbell. Neither ruckman clean with the tap. We'll have a bounce. Still in the centre by Chamberlain. Perspiring quite freely. Swiping those hands. Campbell tried to go to Crawford. Nothing doing there. Brown's over the football, and again milling pack. Sewell had it, lost it. Uncompromising in there, but not pretty. And the ball up.
Luke Brennan preparing to come on for the Hawks. Another player with not a lot of experience. Just his 4th game this afternoon. 3rd season on the list.
We've also got a situation where Luke Hodge is trying to get loose into his own back line, and Adam Goods is virtually tagging him, making him try to be responsible for a player.
First game to Harry Miller. Gathers on the wing, shrugged the tackle, chips the kick towards Ladson, couldn't take the mark. Bevan helped it across the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in on the wing. 7 minutes to play, opening term.
Interesting, Brennan, first round draft pick at number 8, swapped for Daniel Chick. Went to the West Coast Eagles, and now Doyle is getting a free kick on the outer side wing. Plenty of height in this Swans team. Doyle goes down towards half forward. Hall on the lead, hands to it, slips away and goes out of bounds, but left half forward.
Johnny Hay has moved over onto Barry Hall. When they made a change in the ruck here with Big Doyle going up, Hay goes to pick up Barry Hall, and Crode then goes to pick up O'Keefe.
This is Kirk hurriedly down towards full forward. Davis in front. Burgood from behind gets a fist on it and knocks it out of bounds. Not much to him. He's got plenty of courage, we know that now. Exemplified again in the opening minutes of this game.
Now, Lance Franklin's on the bench. He's come off, hasn't really adjusted to the tempo at this early stage. I'll explain about it in a second. That's a high one on Robbie Campbell. He got the front position. Now, as soon as Franklin came off, Adam Goods went to centre half forward. It's almost like, well, let the kid find his pace, and that way you would probably keep Adam Goods in a deep defensive position and not so much an attacking one up forward.
Campbell just popped it up. He made it tough for both Thurgood and Everett, and coming up with the ball gave it to Davis, who rolls it along the boundary line, and we'll get a ball in again. And we'll see if the boundary umpire tosses it in a little further this time, because it was claimed the last throw in. Thought Doyle give the free kick away, was a bit short. The boys are wearing white this afternoon, the umpires, as opposed to the yellow they wore here last year. From the ball up, ball in, Vandenberg rolls it along the boundary line. Bevan there, but takes it out of play and will get another ball in. Bevan, one of the 10 players in the Sydney Swans lineup who played every game for the Swans last year. They're a settled unit and they've started well.
Throw in. Everett held. I think he'll get the free kick. He will. Big Spider on the wing. It's interesting, these throw-ins are dropping short on average. Both ruckmen being forced to really scuttle. Quite often the one who's left behind is doing a bit of grabbing. Everett up from half back, looks down towards half forward, sends it high in the Dixon direction. Very hard to be a forward under that. Kennelly just waited for the moment. The ball arrived and thumped it across the boundary line.
Now we'll have a look at this boundary line throw. I can't see what there would be in a major change to the game, except for clearing it out a bit, if the Wizard Cup rule of the boundary umpires coming in to throw the ball, and why they shouldn't adopt that for the normal season. We get another one to effect here.
We're getting to have a long concerted look at it, aren't we? There's plenty going on at the moment, boundary umpire wise. Crossed in. Campbell from behind Doyle this time, flicks it down to his own advantage. And a hurried kick back towards midfield. O'Keefe was out. Ladson arrives quickly, got the crumb. Spills about 15 metres. Hodge, normally a very good kick, penetrating one inside the 50. Their first inside 50 for the last 10 minutes or so. And Miller has hit the post after the hand pass came from Dixon. The young man's second kick of the afternoon.
Makes it dangerous, doesn't it? I mean, it's just a quick kick. Oh, he celebrated early.
Ooh,
He's gone early.
Premature celebration.
Kennelly to Barry, back pocket for the Swans. Ball. Lifts the handball over the top. Trouble here. Crouch caught. Vandenberg and Crawford. And neither of them get the free. Will get the ball up. Maybe the ruckman, those ball-ins are actually attuned to the long throw-in from the Wizard Cup. They're used to it coming in a bit further.
Just look at the space rather than where the boundary umpire is. Possible.
Jolly and Campbell. Didn't really support me much there, though, did you, Dan?
No, he gave you nothing.
No, absolutely nothing at all.
It's a bit of a reach.
Matthews, I was trying, though.
Yeah.
Well, it's sort of like Pavlov's dog. They just get in this groove and they don't sort of see where he is, or
Who did Pavlov's dog play for? Was that the Irish game?
You're joshing me. Campbell knocks it down. Bateman falling forward, hand passes towards the attacking 50. Down goes Bevan. He was taken high. He'll get the free kick. Stop-start affair. Bevan across half-back. Will he get 50? I think he might. 50 is on the cards. And on this ground, it's worth a bit more.
Yeah.
Bevan dragged down towards half-forward now, so suddenly the pressure thrust on the Hawthorn defence. He's only about 60 metres out. Looks towards the middle. Now spots Davis on a lead. Davis got separation. Hodge dropped the mark. Over the football is Nix, paddling it towards the goal. Hodge keen to make amends, picked up by Brown. Arches the back, gets away, at least initially. Kirk got in. Hodge, it spills forward, still in play. Only just Vandenberg. Well, Vandenberg went in with it. And as you can see, he's lying wide at the pack there, and the umpire, not sure who had it. Davis comes up with it.
Well done by Campbell Brown too. He came back into play. He didn't kick it up because there were about 3 players just sitting up on the Swans players sitting up on the 50-metre line who would have ended up taking the ball and having an easy shot.
Jude Bolton, 2 stats. The handball, got it. Got the kick away. Crawford from half-back, slips it towards Chance Bateman, takes the mark. Plays for 50, doesn't get it. Inside, 4 minutes to quarter time. Slips it to Crawford. Corral.
Yeah.
Sewell. Caught. Goods. Got him. Came at him up the Goods train. Coughed it up. Williams has got it. Swan's about to go into attack. If Hall can mark it, can't. Gathers his own crumb beautifully. Williams feeds off. Hall ignores him. Goes with a long kick. Inside 50. Davis can't bring the mark down. Off hands. Lays the big-time tackle on Hodge. And takes him out of play.
Good tackle.
A bit of pressure to Hodge, perhaps, Dermot. given that he is the man that Hawthorn picked number 1 ahead of Chris Judd. He needs to have a big season.
He was very clever then. Once he got the tackle laid, he actually took himself and the tackler, walked to the boundary line to get the throw in.
Crawford, out very wide, close to the boundary line. Both players took their eyes off the football, Buchanan and Osborne.
Is that not allowed then?
That's fine. Tackle so far, Sydney 20, Hawthorn 10.
You got to tease him all day, eh?
But it is a contact sport.
And that's fine. Well, at least I think it is.
They are a long way back for the throw-ins. I think they're attuned to the wizard cuff.
Pavlov's dog. There goes the kick towards half forward. Hay, it came from Maxfield. Jolly had knocked it down to him. Now Jacob's in trouble. Away to Brown. I think they had a pop group too, Pavlov's dog. Remember them?
Lonely dog night.
No, different altogether. Okay. Brown beyond the wing. That's a lovely pass. And the mark is taken down there by Brennan. Lays it off on the overlap. Crode had a great season last year. Kicks well inside the forward 50. How's that? Brilliant half volley. Everett deserving of a goal. Spins around and caps it.
So that goal will look fairly simple. Now Trent should have actually hit the target here. That's a skill error. Should have been able to put that onto his chest. But that goal there, Dan, that's as good as it gets.
Terrific.
Being able to turn at your top pace, regardless of your size or stature, is
I think Crowder played to his strength. Played to his strength.
What, not over kicking it?
Yeah. Knew he was good down low. Or needed improvement in that area, one of the two.
And that was fantastic by Spider Everett. Did it very well.
Best ruckman in the competition last year, most hit outs, and that was a superb goal. 24 minutes between their 2 goals for Hawthorn. They're back in the contest at least. 2 minutes to quarter time. Hodge goes in hard. Gladson, Bateman gets out of a tackle nicely, about to get caught again. Rolls it to half forward. Coming hard, Bevan. Couldn't dish up the handball. Got it to Roberts Thompson. He to Williams. Nice work by the Swans. Spearing pass from Matthews. Not so good. Chopping it off is Brad Sewell. And they'll reload the Hawks. Crode, who likes to run, just loads up with a kick this time. High ball knocked down by Nix nicely to Maxfield. No one ready to handball to Jolly. Dances around Campbell with style. High kick. Hauls inside 50. Sizes it up, Barry. Can't take the mark. And he can't keep it alive either. They'll get a ball in.
I would imagine the runner, Dean Anderson, for the Hawks, would make his way out to Trent in the next couple of minutes and say that is a dangerous play to go directly across the ground and keep it at true centre half forward.
Yes. Like taking Beer to a job interview. Very bad idea. Tossed in the pocket. Well done, Jolly. That's across to Davis. That's a wonderful goal. How about that? Deep in the pocket.
Josh Thurgood started on Nick Davis. He hasn't got the job anymore, though. Campbell Brown has been moved over onto him. Has been for about the last 7 or 8 minutes. He just doesn't get shoulder to shoulder. That's one of those ones, Dino, where you get your DVD disc during the week of all your good stuff and all your bad stuff. Campbell will get one about where were you at this stage.
And Nick Davis can show that DVD for a highlights reel to his dad, who between them they've kicked 500 goals in AFL, VFL football. Of course, his dad played for Collingwood and is the director of umpiring up here in New South Wales. We'll get a ball up, secondary ball up with seconds remaining to the quarter time break. 25 plays 13, and there is the new coach of Hawthorn in his opening game, Alistair Clarkson. Todd Viney on his extreme left, former Melbourne champion. He was offered assistant coaching job at Melbourne, Todd Viney, and knocked it back for the Hawks instead. From the ball up, Williams caught a little high. Umpire says no. And we'll get yet another ball up with 30 seconds remaining to the first break.
Joel Smith has been on for the entire quarter for the Hawks, has not had a stat yet. He's been out on the wing, and his opponent keeps trying to drag him right to the full back line, full forward line for the Swans to try and get him out of the play. Worked so far, he hasn't touched it.
Jolly Tried to go to Matthews. Worked out okay. Matthews at the second attempt sends it inside the 50. Hodge drifting back. Knocked it to Brown. Jacobs under pressure. Kicks it out towards left half back. Bolton's got no support. The boundary line would be a good result for the Swans. Loney met solidly by Doyle. It's a tangle at right half forward. The umpire has no alternative. There's the siren. Quarter time. The Swans are 4-1. The Hawks are 2-1. Hawthorn spreading their goals early, and then at the 26th minute mark they got the opening goal. 2 minutes in, that was Dixon. Then Everett, that wonderful goal. But between times, the Swans have carved out a lead. Quarter time then, the SCG, the margin 12 points.
At last, Monday nights are back to normal.
I reckon you sat here, Mike, last year and argued the reverse 6 or 7 times.
The boundary umpire chickens out, and it is just a terribly wrong decision.
This week, the boys welcome Rodney Eade, the man at the helm of the Doggies revival. What better way to spend Monday night than on the couch, live from 8:30 Eastern.
Feeling the squeeze? Harvey Norman takes the pressure off with 48 months interest-free on now. Move up to glorious high-definition plasma with this amazing Panasonic deal. A huge 42-inch high-definition plasma panel, complete with bonus 5-year warranty and bonus high-definition set-top box. All for just $5,499. That's unbeatable value and only at Harvey Norman. Why wait? Buy now and start living today with 48 incredible months interest-free. Now that's a deal worthy of your interest. Good one, Harvey. Don't miss out.
At HSBC, we're like the teams we sponsor. We're multi-skilled. We compete with big players around Australia and around the world. With a full range of banking products to get you over the line. That's why we're the world's local bank.
The Bunnings Warehouse Easter catalogue is out now with everything for your home improvement project. 30-piece drill bit set, just $6.98. XU1 210mm miter saw, great value at $49. GMC petrol generator, only $98. 4-litre British sealing wipe, a low $29.98. 450-gram gap seal, just $1.94 each. And everyone loves our handy gift cards.
Bunnings Warehouse!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Whatever happened to the real Australia? The Australia where the only high-rise on the beach was temporary. Where it was harder to find a noisy spot than a quiet one. Where the only things colouring the water were fish. Well, I got news for you. The real Australia is still here. Come and see the real thing. Come and see the real thing. Come and see.
Are you tuned into your television? Your Entertainment and Listings magazine is full of interviews and program highlights, as well as a comprehensive daily viewing guide. This month, Molly Meldrum catches up with diva extraordinaire, the divine Miss M. We expose the myth behind the glory in commemoration of the 90th anniversary of Gallipoli. Uncover the secret to the perfect digital photo with a how-to channel exclusive. And star of the long firm Mark Strong tells us why bad guys are the best. Your Entertainment and Listings magazine. We've got you covered.
Wednesday, on another exclusive Fox Footy feature, find out how AFL football is making dramatic inroads into the American sporting culture on Aussie Rules USA. Join Tiffany Cherry as she takes an exclusive look at the 2004 US Footy National Championship.
My dream to get drafted and then be the first American drafted.
Plus, we have unlimited access as Kevin Sheedy molds a new generation of AFL footballing talent.
I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 or 20 years, but it's starting to get pretty exciting.
Aussie Rules USA, Wednesday, exclusive to Fox Footy Channel.
to the SCG. Beautiful day for footy here. It is the Swans by 2 goals. 2 goals to Nick Davis, singles to Craig Bolton and Barry Hall. And for the Hawks, 2 singles. Ben Dixon, the opening goal of the match, and Peter Everett. A beauty on the burst there. 2-1-13 trailing in Sydney, 4-1-25. Well, the Swans have gone inside their forward 50 on 13 occasions, and they've had 7 fewer possessions than Hawthorn. And those 7 are basically 7 less handballs. So that would suggest that when they get it, they just attack straight down the middle. They go from wherever they are, through the square, inside forward 50 to where Barry Hall lurks. So 1 out of every 2 entries, basically, or more than 1 out of 2, goes straight through the centre square inside their forward 50. They give opportunities to their forwards. They get it there as quick as possible. We have a look there where that goal was scored from directly in front. That was a Nick Davis goal. Another one for Nick from the pocket on the snap was an absolute beauty. Alistair Clarkson there after visiting his charges. Let's find out what they had to do down in those huddles with Jason McCartney.
Yes, Dermot, it was interesting watching the contrast in both huddles. Obviously, Alistair Clarkson, first of all, the Hawks, as one group, firstly addressed by Todd Viney, and then we had Damien Hardwick, all as one group before Alistair Clarkson. Where the Swans, Paul Roos was very calm, collected, then they broke away into their groups. One thing to note, the interchange is being used extensively today due to, obviously, the warm weather conditions.
Thanks, Jace.
Thanks, mate.
Adam Goods on screen there. Yeah, it was interesting that first quarter. Lance Franklin, who didn't touch the footy, when he was on, Goods was in the back line picking him up. As soon as, the very instant that Lance Franklin thought, well, we'll come to the bench now, Goods ran forward and became a secondary centre half forward. And his movement, although he didn't have a big impact on the scoreboard, his movement started to unsettle the Hawks' backline. They had to throw Crode onto him. Hay came out from full-back, picked up Barry Hall. So it threw them out a little bit. He's back on now in the forward pocket. And Goods is back onto him out of the Sydney forward line.
So it's worth having him on almost as a tagging player to take Goods out of the play, Dermot.
Well, you also want to get some match time into him. So, look, if you're taking one of the guns of the game away from a danger spot, let him run.
Swans by 2 goals, and the new Hawk captain Vandenberg gets the takeaway. Kicks to half forward. Dixon couldn't mark. Coming hard, Brennan got a quick fire handball back to Vandenberg. Crunched in a rugby style tackle, and we will get a ball up. Richie Vandenberg. First bit of advice his father gave him after he was given the captaincy was lose the goatee, son. So he shaved that off instantly.
Mr. Vandenberg, a pretty hard nut himself. Grown a lot of grapes, the Vandenbergs, up around the Mildura area.
Trying to get a kick away was Michael Osborne. He's number 7 this year after wearing 40 last year. One of those players who's progressed to a lower number, Derm, but a free kick's been given away. And it'll go to Buchanan, who was cannoned into a little high.
Stays on and didn't see the man coming from behind. As a result, he's holding the football. Dixon got him dead to rights.
But you'd have to question his peripheral vision a bit there.
Still a bit shaken.
Stirred.
Dixon.
Okay.
Straight onto the chest of Barry. Well, he's played on. Going sideways after he marked it. Jolly, fingertips to it, spills behind. O'Keefe trying to go back to Jolly. Chopped off by Jacobs to Bateman. Bateman about 75 metres from goal. Well-weighted kicker, was it? No. Just overweighted by a metre. Ladson marked across the boundary. And Barry gets a chance to redeem himself. Very warm day in Sydney.
Wait for Williams to come through here.
Barry punches it. Ball waits at ample time.
And they've got a man ahead here, the Swans, an extra one. Jacobs has to come up from the back line and leave Barry Hall to try and guard it. No, they still uncover it.
Bolton plays on.
Away.
Buchanan goes to that man Derm's talking about. Barry Hall, 70 metres from goal. 2 players overlap. Goes back to Buchanan. Runs inside the 50. Tries to spear it towards goal. Still a bit shaken. Ball goes out of bounds on the full in the pocket.
He's having a couple of minutes as a mare. Nightmare, that is.
Hay, well, barely 15. Crode. Got it to Crawford. Sends play towards the outer side wing. Cutting across on the angle was Thurgood. Coming up to meet it, Dixon. Bundled out of it. There's Thurgood arriving very quickly.
That's a go to kick, doesn't he?
Flings himself about. It's the old, you grab a leg, I'll grab a leg, pull and make a wish with this kid.
He's got the Michael Tuck build on him too.
Well, exactly. Not much of him, but what there is, he doesn't spare the horses with.
He's very well liked down there. He has a real dig.
You can see why. Bounce on the wing. Campbell knocked it down. Bolton was over the football, close to the boundary line. Doesn't stay in. Loney is slung by Bolton.
He's thin though, Thurgood, isn't he? The push and shove between Bolton and Bateman. That has to be one of the first ever footballers with red dreadlocks. He looks a bit like what Nicole Kidman would look like if she was the lead singer of Korn. Crawford slips a kick inboard. Coming hard at Kennelly. Tackled by Thurgood. Craig Bolton. Crouch. Slips the kick to two Swans there waiting for it. They could have raffled it. Davis took the mark. Still got the option over the top. And Williams takes the mark in the corner. He's played on. They've run themselves into trouble. A certain goal. Maybe turned into a behind. Nope.
Because he played on, he beat me to the punch with that. I was about to say he would be a better chance if he played on from here. He's a pretty ordinary kick as a set shot. He walks up to the ball in a set shot and jerks into the kick, but you let him use his instinct and play on, he rarely misses. I didn't think he was going to go that way with the play on though.
Wonderful skills. In trouble, told to play on, and hooks it around the corner and gets the goal. I've seen a number of things for the first time this weekend. Just moments ago, I saw the first footy fight between a Jude and a Chance. Would make history. It's a changing scene. 18 points the margin. Knocked down by Doyle. Bolton releases Williams. Dragged down. It was a good chase. It affected the kick from Osborne, but unfortunately it skewed off the boot and Doyle gets on the end of it.
Well done by Bolton. He read the ball coming out that side. He piled into the centre off the wing and got first hands on, led Loney in there, and that's where the clear possession came forward.
Bad luck for Osborne. It was great chase. Despairing tackle. Williams not in control of the kick, but it's finished up with this big band. And Doyle, you'd like him from here. 35 metres out, kicks. And what's he done? The goal umpire's gone a long way, but it's okay.
Now, there would definitely be warning bells, warning signs going off. There, Loney trails in Bolton off the centre square, and that's the first clean possession, which puts it to Williams. He's taken down in the tackle, but he still gets the kick inside 50.
Hawks need to stop the run and stop it quickly. Everett goes out alone in the end. Jolly stayed down. Kirk couldn't get a kick away. McVeigh tackled by Everett strongly. Ball flipped out to Chance Bateman. Wobbles the kick inside 50. Franklin, one grab at it. Dixon the crumb. Left foot kick around the body. Offline. Only a behind.
He's big. When he fills out, Lance Franklin's going to have a bit of size about him. That's a strong takedown, that one.
Yes.
Oh, no good then?
No, that was fine. It was just a tackle with ill humour. Little short one comes out to Crouch, and Crouch has taken the mark. I just like things tidy, Derm. I'm sort of like the Felix Unger of the AFL, you know.
Tidy and genteel?
No, genteel not necessarily. There's Williams in front, takes the mark.
Well, you're paired with the right guy here then, Dennis.
Genteel?
Oscar.
Oh, Oscar Madison, yeah.
With that hairdo.
Felix Unger.
Away comes Kennelly, one bounce. Outside the defensive 50 towards half forward. In from the side, Jacobs. Well, spread eagle to teammate. Well done by O'Keefe. Jude Bolton will run inside the 50, settle, go Goldwood and kick it.
Pretty basic stuff here on the replay. Danny Jacobs need to keep his feet there, just control the situation. A well kicked by Jude Bolton. He just didn't overextend himself. Kept nice and poised. Able to execute brilliantly.
Lead out to 29 points now. The marks this quarter, Sydney 10, Hawthorn 1, and they're about to get an inside 50. Williams, spearing pass, Hall couldn't mark it. O'Keefe gathers the crumb, slips a handball out, quick fire stuff, Buchanan. He dished it to Williams, and his kick slightly off the side of the boot. It clipped the behind post, and it's out of bounds on the 4.
Very good. To bring it back in. 43 plays 14.
Gee, Nick Davis has been very generous here with how much space he's given him.
Very good. Across the ground then to Bateman in the opposite pocket. Takes the mark, plays on immediately. Not much on offer. Sends it very high. Hay worked out of it by Doyle. Doyle did very well. Knocked it down to the advantage of Goods. Goes to Buchanan. Runs inside the centre square. Wild kick down towards the pocket though. Boundary umpire. It's the central umpire actually. Umpire Kennedy I think down in that pocket. Backpedaling as the ball goes across the boundary.
Barry Hall going crook. Why the kick didn't go to him?
That was interesting off the ball. Hodges corked by Williams. Some distance off the ball. Like to see that again. After it as Crawford hugs the boundary, in fact puts it out of bounds on the 4. So the Swans will send it forward yet again. Goods with the resultant free.
Hawthorn flooding back now. This mark just taken by Barry. He did have to leap. Standing jump. No one behind Leo Barry at the moment. He goes to Crouch. No one behind Crouch. Everyone in front of him. Not only provides a lead, but it's a lateral lead. Just chips it back to Barry. So the Hawks trying to stop this flow of goals from the Swans with the flood. Barry Hall lurking. Not the second grab though. Play on. Thurgood. Slips one tackle, not the second. Dispossessed. Davis sizes them up and nails it. He's got 3.
Well, there was warning bells going off a few minutes ago, but that last goal then is as close to a waltz in the park for the Swans as you would see in league footy. A tackle, a takedown. An easy step around Johnny Hay, who buys a bit of candy that not many people would. Braining them in the stat sheet this second quarter.
So the margin suddenly out to 35 points.
Doubled Hawthorn's possessions at least in this quarter. 34-15 in favour of Sydney.
Jolly knocked it down. Everett comes away. Half smothered by O'Keefe. It ricochets inside the forward 50 for the Hawks. That will be down as an entry, but really nothing effective about it. Well, the bounce 45 metres out. Let's see that off the ball again. Now, that is a really interesting one. Hodge has gone across in front of his path. He knew he was coming. And you feel a bit silly. Knocked down by Everett. Goldwood. Standing his ground, Barry. Taken by Brown. Took too long. Williams could have been held. Everett saw Williams coming. Down they went. Picked up by Jolly. Gets a hand pass away and they work it nicely. The kick from Schneider after the hand pass from Matthews. Down towards half forward. Coming up on the burst is Hay. This is Hodge. From right half back. Spots a man on the wing. That's Franklin.
First touch for his career coming up.
Franklin. Right on the wing from the Perth Footy Club. Kicks inside the forward 50. Barry goes back and takes a pretty good mark under the circumstances. looking straight into the sun and not knowing quite what was behind him.
Kennelly just clips the hands of Ladson. Kirk caught a little high by Everett. Umpire allows play on, some advantage, ball over the top. Gee, they've got the flood here going in their favour. Jolly bounces, kicks from 50 and drop puts it home. Welcome to Sydney. 48 games for Melbourne. And he has come here because he might get some more game time. There's no Jeff White in this lineup, but he plays like that.
Well, there's the Leo Barry mark going back into it. But gee, Dennis, as you called it, the flood going forward, it is a sign of domination out on the ground when you get, well, more than one support runner running forward of the centre on any ground, capable of taking a shot at goal. He had 3 in support there.
So the Swans have got the last 6 goals. It's a rout. At least for the moment. Everett lays it down. Schneider gets back. Gets a hand pass away. Kennelly back to Schneider. Spots a runner. Matthews. He takes it just shy of the wing. It's back towards the middle. Nothing on offer. I'd go to Hall if I were him. Goes down towards Hall. A thinking man's footballer. Can't be held responsible for the result. Crow took the mark. Chips it back inside his defensive 50, and Jacobs. Well done by Crow. A lot of crowd thinking he used his hands, but hasn't he slotted back well as a Hawk after some unproductive time at Fremantle? Joel Smith, haven't seen a lot of him. Fergal getting across, but not entirely. Bevan did brilliantly, and it's going to be a free kick to Bevan. Well, I thought that Thurgood was going to apply a strong bump. Watch him, he'll come motoring in there, but didn't get there in time. Bevan, with desperation, despite the scoreboard, that was a terrific effort.
That rugby league upbringing with that strong tackle. He's got a great tackle on him. And he was only brought into the team round 1 last year because Ty Kennelly was a withdrawal due to injury. Played round 1, then played every game last season with Bevan, and he's a superb player. Matthews.
That's part of his weaponry. He's a good kid, isn't he, Bevan? He does have a great tackle on him.
Spearing past to Davis, who's already got 3 and can make the distance from 50 out. And the scoreline's getting uglier by the minute here. Hawthorn in trouble. Hawks after this game have got 4 straight games at home at the MCG. Richmond next week. They were about 34 points down round 1 of the Wizard Cup this year, Hawthorn, and fought back to hit the lead against St Kilda in the last quarter. This would be a tough ask for them after half-time if Davis can slot this with 10 minutes left on the clock, second term.
That's a
nice long launch of the ball offline.
Gee, times it well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very important to them too, isn't he? He's just a perfect foil for what's around him. And he's deceptively tall.
Yeah, well, what, about 5'11 and a half, 6 foot in the old language. But you need someone with pace and mobility to take him.
Hodges' kick, knocked down by Kirk. Comes out of the pack to Hall. Keith, or was it Bolton? It was Bolton who got it to support. Matthews, a low one. Hand pass from Doyle. Hall in trouble. Shrugs off a would-be tackler. Kicks it to pull forward. Well done, Hodge. Got back and punched it away. Well, they were queuing up. Buchanan, Matthews, all loose across half forward there. Involved in the action is Hodge. Spots Brown, who wasn't watching, but good talking as it turned out.
Kicked and then called him to turn around.
There's nothing ahead, Richie Vandenberg, and I mean nothing ahead of him.
So he went to Luke Brennan and brought out of play.
There is a trap here. If we look down the other end now, there's Richie on screen. If you look down the other end now, there are 5 Hawthorn forwards within about 25 metres of the goals because it's such a short ground. You play right up or right back. But then when Richie looked up, they were 75, 80 metres away, all virtually in the goal square. One has to at least come up and be an option.
Sewell to Bateman to Crawford to Loney to the running Smith. They worked that okay. He kicks the ball to half forward, too wide for Dixon, and will get another ball in.
Nick Holland is back on the ground as well. Let's go down to Jason McCartney.
Yeah, Dermot, just on that, Nick Holland has replaced Robert Campbell, so Paul Roos has counteracted straight away. Off goes Campbell, direct opponent in ball, and Roberts Thompson picks up Nick Holland.
Everett plays for the free kick, didn't get it, but got the ball back after Doyle edged him under it, and he'll get another ball up. Umpire explaining that
blue one down the back. Campbell Brown in the goal square against Nick Davis.
Crowd cheering for that. A little bit of action down that end while the ball's at the other end.
I might get accused of deciding that one too.
Doyle. Well, I'll tell you what, dude, they could do worse than draw a line in the centre half-time. Hawthorn, the way they're playing. Crawford, Bateman, tucked into the pocket. That might give them some momentum, but it's across the face.
I'll tell you, it wouldn't be a straight line. They're having a lot of trouble at the moment going in a straight line. They're going very wide, and they're missing their targets. Need some help.
And they're going to go long here, the Swans. There's two very short options in the pockets. Other than that, everyone else is about 55 metres away. Crouch is a bit of a spot up on the boundary. They'll go for one of those really close options.
Bevan.
He'll want the other side now if they can find a bit of freedom and run it out the other way. It looks that way. It's not on. Has to go down the line.
There's two behinds in this term for the Hawks. As Bevan drives it long towards the wing. Oh, good work, Spider. Everett, strong mark. Rocking back on his heels there. Wonderful goal in that opening term. Gathering the half volley. Kicks towards the 50. Holland goes up and takes the mark.
Now, here's a big drop punt kick, Nick Holland. It wouldn't surprise me if he'll get the distance here. He'll probably look first if something is totally suitable. There's no key marking options up in the goal square.
His first touch from 55.
A big jump.
Sets it long towards full forward. Goods got a fist on it. Sent it very high. Well done by Jacobs, but unfortunately lost his footing and as a result was a sitting duck. And there'll be a ball up about 30 metres out from goal. Hawks desperate for a goal here. Early days, of course. There's the bounce. Clever by Holland. Towards the boundary. Williams to his own advantage initially. Bolton could have almost got a free kick there. Put the body in. They scramble after it. Well done, Miller. Knocked it goalward. Bevan's got it. Taken down. It's going to be a free kick to Sydney in there. It's going to Crouch.
Let's have a look at the tail of the two sides when they go forward. Inside their forward 50, Sydney have had 25 disposals. Hawthorn only 8 at the other end. Marks inside 50. Sydney have taken 7. Hawthorn just the 1, and that was Dixon's first goal of the match.
Crouch to Kennelly to Bevan. Coming at him, Bateman. There's a free kick behind field. He will have gone to Kennelly. Play on advantage. Bevan kicks to the wing. Doyle. The long way down to bend there and grab it. Couldn't. Smith evaded one tackle but couldn't get the handball on target to Brad Sewell. He's wrapped up and we will get a bounce. On the logo, on the wing. Alistair Clarkson on the phone. I'd ask you what kind of message you send down now with score 57-15, 6 minutes to go down.
Find some sand.
Everett knocks the ball towards the wing. Coming hard, Crouch and Bateman. Well played. Bateman too high. Maxfield gave the free kick away. And Chance Bateman should send the Hawks inside 50.
Starting to find a bit of the footy now, the Hawks. They can't put it onto the scoreboard.
Not 15. Right, under pressure. Holland will need to go interfered with surely. He'll get the free kick.
Didn't have to do that, Roberts Thompson.
No.
Ball cleared both players. That's a pretty clumsy effort. And either that or it's a very poor disguise of a spoil.
It would do his confidence the world of good if he could kick a goal from here. No easy kick. Well, he wants to go backwards initially. A lot of indecision, then heads for home. That's the way to do it. How about that? Terrific goal by the veteran.
Yeah, Roberts Thompson there. A pretty clumsy effort, that one. Well, the Hawks are starting to win the footy. The possession count now for this quarter is 39 Hawthorn, Sydney 59. Inside 50s has swung back to 9-8, although Sydney have kicked a swag of goals, and that's for the Hawks' first goal. at least starting to win some of the ball.
Just the 13 games and 6 goals last year, Nick Holland. He was the Hawks' leading goal kicker in 97. And that one desperately needed their first goal of the quarter. It took them 22 minutes to get it. Can they get another? Bateman to Smith. Chips the kick. Holland's on the move. Got it. Too far out to score definitely this time. Goes to the captain, Vandenberg. High inside 50. Dixon. He's got 2 to beat Barry. Gobbles it up. Craig Bolton. He's got a lot to go to. Goods, trouble. Let the handball out to Ball just in time. With a couple inside. One of them nicks. He handballs it wide. Back to Craig Bolton, who helped it all start. Nicks again. Up the ball out of play according to the boundary umpire. And with 4 minutes 40 left to half time, a ball in.
Luke Hodges gone forward for the Hawks. Nick Holland is, he almost looks like he's too eager to get the ball off to somebody smaller at the moment, just believing he's probably a bit lumbering. You've got to sometimes accept that you've got to kick the footy yourself.
Bolton's kick across field results in this, and a bounce. Cannon has taken a couple of hard knocks today. Immediately coming off the ground under the blood rule, cut above that left eye.
Now from these bounces, these sort of bounce downs around the 55-metre range or so, the Swans kick goals out of these. And they get one little handball giveaway, tuck it under the arm, the likes of Williams, end up with a shot at the goals.
Nasty clash of heads as you saw in the replay there. Now a bounce down towards half forward for the Swans. They've been a bit casual in the last 5 minutes after really pumping early in the term. Everett tries to direct it down, but it went to a Swan. I think it's Kirk.
It's coincided Hawthorn's all ability to find the ball in the last 7 or 8 minutes with Peter Everett going into the ruck. He's able to direct the ball better in Hawthorn's favour.
Cutman working overtime as Ball tries to direct it down, then it came back to him. So he lays it across. The kick from Schneider comes out wide, gathered by Nix on the bounce. And Nix almost pulled it off. Just across the boundary line, and you've got to say the official in perfect position. I think from what I've seen so far in round 1, the umpiring has been terrific. I think they've been helped by the rules being made a little easier. And this, of course, nothing to do with a judgment call. It's simply about the line. But overall, it's impressive, the umpiring in round 1. Certainly compared to last season. Crossed in, Everett worked out of the contest. Looked on its way by Campbell. This is Kirk. Feeds it back. Not as far as Everett. Players around him. One of whom is Sewell. Sewell kicks it up towards the wing. Latson comes back on Bevan. Knocked across the boundary line by Crouch. In game number 157. That's 157 straight. Remarkable record. That is 100th against the Hawks, round 14 of 2002. And that was Paul Roo's first game as coach.
And his good luck charm, Dennis, is a medallion from the Vatican, so maybe that's brought him some good luck. Long kick inside 50 from Bateman, hoping for Holland. Couldn't kick one from there, surely. Does it behind.
He actually lost complete sight of that, Nick Holland. I could see him put his hands up to his eyes. Adam Goods, he lost sight of it. The ball almost cleared the two of them.
Sydney haven't been inside 50 for the last 8 minutes, 26 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes remaining in this second term. Short pass finds Goods and hasn't got a lot to go to, so just holds it up.
Not really a flowing game, this one this afternoon. A lot of stop-start about it. Roberts Thompson was up, missed it. Socket forward by Williams. Gains about 25 metres. It's out of bounds on the wing. Under 3 minutes to half-time. Sydney 57. Hawthorn 22. The margin was 12 points at quarter time. Doyle goes to Campbell. Campbell cleverly got it down to Sewell. Surrounded, tried to get through, did pretty well. Got it to Loney. Loney across the body, floats it down towards half forward. In front is Brennan. Tackled by Keneally. Got a hand pass away. Down goes Crouch, and the ball spills across the boundary line. Well above board, says the umpire. Hawthorn plead for deliberate, nothing doing. So it'll be thrown in.
O'Loughlin, of course, the second on that list, not playing, but Hall and O'Keefe both in for the Swans this afternoon. Bolton of the Craig variety couldn't get a kick away. Still inside the pack. Campbell gets it out. Sewell. Now Crowd, high kick. Everett's lurking, rises, can't mark. Ball knocked down by Ball very well. Goods off the deck. He is an ex-soccer player, grew up as a soccer boy, did it well. Crunched, Brown, caught by McVeigh. Gets the kick around the body, but bang into the post. Holland.
I think he got pushed in it, Nick's trying to say.
He didn't make a noise.
I think he's trying to say he was... Oh, yeah. I've got a bit of a shove from there he did. Shove from Jason Paul into it.
Irish whip.
The umpire's talking about whether there's going to be a free kick or not here, or whether the ball was touched. Dixon's saying it's his.
Well, he's a left footer, he'd want it.
Okay. Meanwhile, Holland is in another country. He's in the hands of the trainers, waves them away and wipes the nose. Looks okay.
Boundary throw in. Gee, the Hawks are a bit stiff there. Would have thought Holland was pushed in the back.
For what reason could the goal umpire say that he didn't see that was a point?
Just likes meeting people. Ball spills behind the pack. Kicked out of there by, I think it was Ball, the halfback, McVeigh. Crawford tries to slap at Goldwood. Spills across to Crouch. Well played. Now Jolly. Jolly goes back to McVeigh, involved moments ago, to Bolton. This is when they're dangerous. Feeds it out wide to his namesake. They combined several times today, and Hall on the lead has taken the mark. A late goal would really sting as far as the Hawks are concerned. Barry Hall's got the football just forward of the wing, back to Jude Bolton. Matthews is on in the middle. Doesn't spot him quickly enough. Now Matthews is closed down as Dixon did well to come up. Get close. Back to Hall. 70 metres out. Hall hard against the boundary. Kicks it long. O'Keefe is good in this situation. Outnumbered though. Jacobs did well. Schneider. Interesting. And the ball across the line. Well, there's certainly a mark. Well, he's taken the mark over the line.
Yeah.
The question is it a free kick to either one of the Hawks for a push in the back? I would say Holland is a bit stiff.
How could the goal umpire not see that close that it cleared the line?
On the foot.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Crawford.
41 seconds remaining to half-time. Crawford goes in the Holland direction. He can't take the mark over the top of Goods, and Crouch couldn't gather it. We'll get a ball in. Chance for a late score. Need a takeaway. Either side from the wing. Frank Bolton tried to dish up a handball to Jude. Missed him. Crawford runs into Matthews. Tried to don't argue. And he argued with it. And tackled him. And he gets the free, does Matthews.
Even in the shadows, you just tackle about a metre above those boots.
Been the brightest thing about Hawthorn for the whole first half. Matthews, half-back flank, time ticking away, and they'd be pretty happy with their first 2 quarters work of this 2005 season, the Swans. And Hawthorn need to have a long, they got mirrors in the rooms down there. They need to have a long, hard look at themselves, otherwise it'll be a tough year for them. They have got a lot of youth in their lineup, the Hawks. 3 first gamers this afternoon, but the Swans, who have 10 of their 22 who played every game last year, look like a unit that is heading somewhere this year. Half-time here at the SCG. The Swans 9-4-58. Hawks 3-4-22.
Today, the MCG plays host to a fierce encounter as Collingwood takes on the Western Bulldogs. Don't miss a second of it. Uninterrupted siren to siren. Collingwood beat the Western Bulldogs today on Fox Footy Channel. Wednesday on AFL Love Match with host Rebecca Wilson.
Find out how your AFL stars react under real pressure.
Former Demon Anthony McDonald battles it out against young Bulldog pup Brad Murphy.
Where would you find a tapas bar? Yes, dog.
Sewing kit.
AFL Love Match, a real test of teamwork. Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
There's the bounce back in the middle. Start of the third term, 58-22. Jolly knocks it down. Vandenberg charges in. Tackled by Williams. He's taken down and will have a bounce. First day as skipper. Richie Vandenberg finished fourth in Hawthorn's best and fairest despite missing 6 games through suspension. Put it down to bad advice. Knocked down by Campbell. Over the football. Initially Jude Bolton. Falling to the ground Franklin. Over the shoulder. Sewell lays it off. Loney upended. No prior opportunities. Sewell keen to make amends. 3 Swans around him. Ball comes to Brown. Tough nut. Well played. Kicks it down towards half forward. In front Dixon. Over the top. Knocked away by Barry. Ladson. Clever handball. Crawford, his 13th possession, goes in and gets a goal. That's better.
I know we always get bored as footballers of hearing of the basic things in footy, but the basic thing about footy, well, let's go back to in the first half when 2 Hawks went up. O'Keefe kept his feet and those Hawks players fell to ground. Swan scored a goal. 2 Swans go up for the contest. 1 Hawk takes both of them. 1 stays down, crumbs and handballs to a bloke who comes past. It is basic footy. Even at this level, still kicks goals.
2 goals in a row to Hawthorn. Crawford looking good after that back injury, broken arm and infected arm last year. Cut his season short. Quick fire handball to Jude Bolton is good. He goes long over the head of Barry Hall, who was half held. Ball stays alive. Hay runs and hands to Campbell Brown. They're inspired at the moment, the Hawks. They've got space up forward. They kick towards Dixon. Couldn't take the mark. Left out of the contest by Barry Goods. It's away from Holland. Williams hasn't got a lot to kick to. Forced to hand it. Craig Bolton back to Goods. Still not much to kick to. Pops it up high. Bevan. Brown. Brown wins out. About to send the Hawks inside 50. They've got the numbers. Holland. Everett. They spoil each other. Everett the crumb. Might dribble it through. Rolls it. Coming hard. Going hard. Hawthorn! Behind. But it was an exciting behind to watch.
Williams did well, didn't he? Maybe.
Yes, he did. Have another look at it from this.
That's pretty gutsy because you know what's coming. The nest goes out the window in that situation.
Oh, boy, that was close to a goal as well.
Yeah, straight away onto the call, the goal umpire, though. He was in no doubt.
Did he touch it with the boot after Williams tapped it with his hand?
Good question you raise. There's Williams to himself. Runs to the pocket. Penetrating kick coming out. Jude Bolton. That's a good mark. That's a terrific mark.
Yeah, strong pair of hands for a midfielder there.
He's at right half back.
Barry Hall comes straight down the line.
11th possession for Jude Bolton. Here's Goods. Very warm day, as we've said several times today. Testing for the players.
Did it again here, Bolt.
Well, he ran hard, gets to midfield, kicks inside the forward 50. Well done, Joel Smith. Peels off. Beat Buchanan. Kicks towards half forward and Holland. Coming over the top is Bolton. Fisted away. Sliding in after the football out there is Hay. He immediately attracts a crowd and doesn't release the ball. And the hangman's crouch from 10 metres away that time from umpire Chamberlain.
Now his opponent Doyle, Johnny Hay's opponent Big Doyle, is sitting down in the goal square and only Luke Hodges run back to get to him.
Figuratively. Goes to Hall, who takes the mark 45 metres out, about 15 metres in from the boundary. So Barry Hall just the 1 goal this afternoon. This will test him, but the angle will open up to a right footer.
I just watched Trent then. He played off Barry Hall thinking that the long kick was going to go to Doyle, who was standing roughly 15-20 centimetres taller than Luke Hodge, and he thought he was going to have to run back with the flight.
Barry Hall, 52 metres out. Wonderful effort from there. His second.
That's the free kick. He's playing for time there, Johnny. There's Luke Hodge. Croad knows that, and he just tries to occupy the corridor. Never gets. He's deceptively quick, Barry Hall, isn't he? Covers the ground very, very well.
Best and fairest winner from last year, Barry Hall, also won the players' best and fairest, the Paul Kelly medal, voted on by the players, and their first goal for quite a while, since the 17-minute mark of that second term for the Swans. Having another look at this goal that we think was a goal to Osborne, and touched by Williams, then towed by Osborne.
Oh,
well done, Dwayne.
So they'd be a little grumpy, Hawk fans, if they didn't get that one paid. On the ball up, Sewell to Loney, high inside 50. We talked about Karma. They don't get a little bit of it here. Goods takes a strong mark against Holland.
2 contests already. They've gone to Nick Holland and Adam Goods. We've got to take into account that Nick had Lewis Thompson. Is that it? Lewis Roberts Thompson in the second quarter, and did some damage on him. So Goods straight away finds a little bit of range on him.
Sounds like he's playing on 5 men. Laxey goes in short, and the mark is taken by Holland.
Now he's got this distance, Nick Holland. Now this is those ones I'm talking about, Dennis. He's actually just got to say, hey, I kicked these.
I am a good player.
Yeah. Now he's already looking to Croad.
Sorry,
he's just looking inside onto Croad, thinking I could dish the handball here, and Trent's got this distance all day long. But Nick has kicked many of these.
Plenty of kicking. Comes in from 50 and puts it right to the line. Terrific mark taken down there by Jolly.
Stabbed at it.
Had it right on line, but insufficient carry. And Jolly's looked very good this afternoon on debut for his new club. His 9th possession. Goods is the target, and that's a very good kick coming out. Only Goods could get it. It's in the shadows. Right half back to the middle. Guess who? Jolly's pushed up. Lax marking by the Hawks. Jolly goes down towards half forward. Schneider, will he let it bounce? He does. Runs on to Hall. Hall is dragged out. He took on the tackler. Hodge in any case. Hand passes away to Campbell. That's very untidy. Hodge, sweeping handball across half back. Releases Crawford. Crawford comes out towards the wing. Holland making himself available at the moment. Gives it to the first gamer. This is Franklin. Hard against the boundary line. Pulls it back. Not the best kick. Not the best spot. It's certainly not the best spot as it turned out, because it was heavily populated by Swans. Bolton goes to Barry. Matthews is on for the long ball. Bateman is coming back to him now to cramp his style, but Barry has run so far he'll bypass the pair and go to half forward. Well, Hall could have been pushed in the back. There's no free kick. He's busy pleading his case. Schneider back to Hall. Hawthorn player is down hurt. Hall goes at his third, hits the post.
Down hurt, and this is the reason why. Landed awkwardly, or was he hit in the midriff?
Yeah, we would have got Barry.
Danger here from the kick in. They nearly turned it over, the Hawks. Still not out of trouble. Loney. Now Josh Thurgood over it. Schneider. Thurgood, Schneider. Umpire will sort it out with a ball up.
Too high, I think he's paid.
Josh Thurgood's free kick, he said.
Yeah, so, after he called the bounce down, a ball up, I think it was it Schneider? He just threw a little elbow back, I think, that got him a bit high.
Thurgood didn't turn up to Hawthorn's first training session, and he got the wrong memo. So he didn't turn up, and the whole team had to do penalties. He did too well with that disposal either, and the ball is out of play in front of Brown. So not the way you want to start your AFL career, Josh Thurgood, and Hodge still in the hands of trainers here. Ball back into play. Hodge is up and okay. Campbell doing the ruck work. Joey the toe poke. Nice leap from the umpire. Paul. Hodge. And the umpire, the leaping umpire, finds a free kick. In the meantime,
I think it's umpire Chamberlain. He stuck the landing too.
to give it a 9.9.
Absolutely.
Hall gets the free kick here by the looks of things, and he will line up and have a crack at number 3 to his personal tally. Once upon a time, you didn't get a free kick for that, especially if you were Barry Hall.
Yes.
But the umpires have said they've treated harshly at times.
That free kick's there.
Yeah. Okay.
It's big enough to take Barry Hall down. It's big enough to take an antelope. So there's a bit of force in it.
And the antelope misses. Only a behind.
Bad miss. Especially considering his last goal, and then the poster. That was the easiest of the 3. 66 plays 29. Swans on top. Loney. Yes, interesting kick. Bad miss by Smith. Tries to soccer it back to Loney. Succeeded only in putting Davis in good position. Davis can't control it though. It goes across the boundary line. Well, missed kick. And then I think Smith, surprised by it all, dropped a simple chest mark. Harrowing times in defence. Thrown in. Jolly tries to hook it down behind. Sewell sensed the danger. In trouble. Down goes Thurgood. Like a rag doll. He's not happy. Good for him. Jolly went down. And Crawford's getting a free kick. Well, Crawford, almost an innocent bystander, suddenly comes up brandishing the football. Worked very effectively. The Hodge, who seems to be okay, goes out wide. Joel Smith runs, takes the mark. Now he's away. Looks down towards half forward. On the lead, Dixon. Knocked away by Barry. Taken by Goods, back to Barry. Barry on the outer side. A lingering tackle. I think it's coming back and will be a free kick to Goods.
They have no crumbing players up on the forward line, Hawthorn. Every time the ball's gone to ground from a contest, the Swans have been able to sweep it away pretty easily.
Goods to Crouch, a little juggle.
He's quick.
Well, he won the AFL sprint one year. He is quick. Gives to Schneider. Handball a little too quick for Schneider. Kirk spots O'Keefe. Takes the mark. Got a little one high. The umpire said it was okay. No, 50. Goes to Kennelly. Plays on. Takes on the quick Loney. Corralled. Williams outside 50. Boundary line might beat them on. No! Well played by Williams. Now he's caught. Now he's gone. 32 on April the 3rd. Paul Williams has been a magnificent player for this club, and that time almost too clever for his own good.
Slow to relinquish the football. Crawford goes all the way back to Crowe. He decides to run it up. Couple of bounces.
Has to hold it here and be composed with it.
Nothing much on offer eventually. Just pops it out to space. Sewell runs hard. So too Buchanan, but Buchanan on the way down was hanging on, so Sewell gets the free kick.
Now that's a 50-50 target, and that's all that was on offer for him to go to. What you really need is somebody understanding the game at centre half forward, 70 metres away, who gives a 50-50 target. At least if it gets turned over or it goes to ground, you're 70 metres close to goal, not 25.
Hodge to Thurgood, to Crawford, having a good turn. Crawford forced back on the wing. Hand passes down towards half forward. Okay, for Holland. That'll bring it out with no pressure. Kennelly gave it to Williams, who spots him in. That's a precise kick. It cleared Hodge. It was centimetre perfect. It got to O'Keefe. He's about 65 metres out. Schneider runs hard. He's ignored. Ball wants it long, and why not? It goes down in that direction. He was worked under the football. Loose at the back. Taken by Hay. Hay to Brown, and Brown decides to run it up. A couple of bounces in the back pocket. Comes back to Sewell. He's had a few problems today. This time gets away from a would-be tackler. Drives it towards the wing. Dixon's in front. Didn't complete the mark. Matthews knocks it across the barrier.
Got a great leap on him, Leo, and good punch. Gathered his own work. Kirk twisting, turning. Got it to Maxfield, and he can't make something of it. Stuart Maxfield, the captain of this side, and the ball out of play. Speaking of birthdays, 33 in round 3. Stuart Maxfield has been another of the great servants of this Swans footy club. His 16th season of AFL footy this year. Campbell in the ruck, knocks it down to Matthews. Can't break free. Doyle was a long way down there, and and it's a long way between his hand and his boot. It's out of bounds on the full.
I notice Barry Hall is arguing with the umpire who went across to speak with him, and he argued may have touched the Hawthorn runner. Just needs a bit of decaf at the moment.
Loney to Hay. And he wants to play on and run, Jonathan Hay. Goes to Hodge. It's been hurt a couple of times this afternoon. Oh, the look away handball didn't quite work. Hay, Smith, into trouble. Tackled by Schneider. Hodge might get a free kick. They get out of it.
That sounds basic, but Luke Hodge needs to kick this thing now and down the line.
As for the pass, on the lead is Holland. That's good footy. Holland coming hard. Ladson, that was untidy. Miss Bateman, Matthews, Buchanan. Kirk is on. Buchanan runs though through the centre square over the head of Hall. He leads back though. Hay fell over. Ball about 40 metres out. He wants to kick a goal. He wants to desperately. Thurgood goes back. That was a tricky one. Came over the shoulder. He couldn't hang on. And the ball trickles through for a behind. Tick, tick, tick.
Barry Hall's goal accuracy today, 33%. Last year, 65%. Joel Smith. Hasn't got a lot of options to kick to him. Once again, he looks up and there's nothing there and he's caught. Gives to Loney. Sends it out of the trouble zone. Well, it's 3 Swans on 2 Hawks. Dixon's one of the 2. Can't grab it. Now he does. Slips a handball out, hoping for Crawford. Canelli. Osborne. Crunch. Well played, Osborne. Got to kick away just in time. Towards half forward. Franklin spins out of trouble. Sends it to Everett. Full forward. Nearly had it. It touched both palms and he couldn't rake it in.
Spiders
play on advantage. Here's Grumpy. It's on behind play. In the meantime, O'Keefe slips a handball out to Craig Baldwin. He goes to Matthews. He's going to think about Hall if it bounces for him. Hall leads now. He thinks about him and he puts it over his head. Free kick though, downfield, and it'll be Hall's ball. It's getting uglier by the second for Hawthorn.
Well, I haven't really put it on the scoreboard, the Swans, though. At half-time was 36 points. It's still at 36 points.
It's a tough kick to be improving your accuracy rate with for Barry Hall.
Now, I'm not going to say this just because to answer this, but for a right footer, if there was one pocket on the ground, 38 points, so increased by 2. It does seem to open out this. You get a bit of drift from left to right from this pocket.
Lines up, it drifts from left to right. That's why we pay you the big bucks,
Had a little bit to do with the bloke kicking it too, you know. Just give him a little bit, Graham.
No.
Is that the training pocket when you were up here at the Swans?
Yes, it is. That's the pocket. And everyone at home listening would understand that when you go to your local footy ground after training, everyone stays out in the ground and takes their 20, 30 shots at goal, or it might only be 5. But that's the pocket everyone sits out here at the Swans and takes pot shots at the goals. They know it pretty well.
Barry Hall kicks his 3rd goal. Dermott gets all the credit. Retirement's terrific. Coaching not so good at the moment. Alistair Clarkson finding it tough this afternoon as his team continues to struggle. 11-7-4-5. Everett hooks it down behind. Charging up was Bevan. Put Kirk down. Ball spills to McVeigh. Gets a hand pass away. Bevan tried to split the difference. And Spider was having none of it. So a ball up, still inside the centre square, approaching 3/4 time. Sunday football. And the Swans looking impressive. A lot of people like them to press for the premiership this season. Kirk knocks it inside the forward 50. Not sure that Hodge had the football. I think that's Bevan at the base of it. And the umpire Kennedy, vastly experienced, will ball it up right on the 50. Hawthorn making a lot of skill errors, forced and unforced, this afternoon, but they've not given up. Nix got high. Vandenberg slaps it back inside the centre square. Nix went to ground. Sewell comes over the top, claimed by Doyle. And another bounce inside 6 minutes to three-quarter time.
Even that kick that went to Spider Everett at the other end of the ground before this last Swans goal, pretty easily cleared. There's just absolutely no crumbing player winning the ball for Hawthorn forward of the centre, or just being competitive at ground level.
Gathering it from the right cop, there's Sewell. Got a little tap to the shoulder. Umpire said play on. Nick's inside 50. Smith defending with Crow. We're both going to shepherd for each other for a second. Looping handball gives Chance Bateman an opportunity. Caught. Got the handball up just in time. Ladson spears it to Holland. Can't mark it. Bumped. Thinks about knocking it out, and Kennelly keeps it in. And we will get a ball up on the wing. Adam Goods giving Ty Kennelly a little tap on the back saying well done. Alistair Clarkson, it's been a baptism of fire for him. Game one of his career. There's Paul Roos. Looks a little calmer, but he's been in that box a few more times.
Oh, great tap.
Beautiful gather as well. Spearing pass is superb. Lance Franklin just inside the line.
He's
with
moved
the
better
second grab.
Moved better this quarter. He had a nice pick up and swing onto the left foot. He's got to attack the goal square now. He's got a one out still there.
The fifth pick in the summer draft, high towards the goal square. Hawk player down injured. It's Campbell. Crouch gets it in the meantime, and they get away with it. The man with the Alice band, keeping his hair back, O'Keefe. Outside half-back flank. Craig Bolton's got some room to move here. Harry Miller tries to shut him down. Spearing pass, not good enough to Davis, and Smith cuts it off for the Hawks.
Wants to go and does. Across the ground then. Everett, best and fairest last season. Up from the back pocket. Makes his time. Goes very short. Bateman, who's tried very hard this afternoon.
He's in trouble. Robbie Campbell behind play.
This is Crawford. No longer the skipper, but trying to lift his Hawthorn outfit. Vandenberg back to Brown with close quarters to Hodge. To the middle, taken by Crow. Needs to go long, although, having said that, Campbell's coming off the ground there, one short inside their forward 50. Well, that was interesting. Miller just sold into trouble. Goods took him down after Holland took the mark. Coming away is Bolton to Bevan.
That's what I was saying, Dennis. He just needs to actually say, right, I've got to do it myself, rather than look to get and give off every time.
Yeah. Poor kick from Bevan. Out wide. Davis running out of space. A looping left arm from Spider put him down. I don't think there was anything to it.
Oh, well done, Dennis. Getting feisty.
But he certainly came into that tackle with a bit of gusto.
Oh, he's hurt his knee just before that initial. Get another look at that in a second.
It's Campbell. He's off the ground now. Davis feeds it back. Matthews somehow got out. Kirk to Jolly, who should kick a goal. I think he has. His second. Not a renowned goal kicker, but he loves it in Sydney, or so it seems.
I know the great Steve Kernahan hates it every time we say it, but he's kicked the Steve Kernahan on the run goal here. That is not a good looking kick off the boot. I tell you what, we'll look back at this game and we'll see the goal against his name, or two now. Doesn't matter how they get there. That's a good debut.
Darren Jolly, second goal. Is wearing two armbands, Darren Jolly. One obviously for Paul Harrison, the former Swan, who all the Swans are wearing an armband for, but the other for Troy Broadbridge, with the Melbourne Players paying tribute to Troy last night. Kick to half forward, and O'Keefe. Another man who's actually got two armbands on as well, Ryan O'Keefe. He always wears a black armband in every game because his younger brother Aaron passed away in a car accident in 2002. Plays every game as a tribute to his younger brother.
He came on superbly last year, didn't he, O'Keefe?
Yep.
Very important ingredient for them. He leads up from centre half forward, allows Barry Hall to be the stay-at-home key forward.
And he brings this one back nicely through the air, hits the post, and it's not play on in this comp. It'll be a behind.
Now I'll say about this, let's have a look at this Rob Campbell on the bench. We'll get a look at the Hawthorn kick in here. They have too many players within 30 metres of the goal square. You only need one or two. The Hawthorn have 4 or 5.
Joel Smith to Bateman. His goalposts down at that end in particular, like giant oboes. They resonate. Bouncing it up is Bateman. Hand passes to Hay. Close to the boundary line. Kicks long down towards half forward. Osborne comes to meet it, takes the mark. He's about 65 metres out. To the centre. Oh, terrible kick. Williams.
Oh, babies.
16th possession for Williams, veteran.
That would make the goalpost tenors and the point post altos.
Ah, yes. But we digress, Dermot. The short one comes to Bevan, who marks it half back. Little 1-2 with Maxfield. Bevan. What about going back? Brown is the wrong man to take on. Regardless of the scoreboard, he relishes the physical contact and he will not step aside. Watch this. Sprung it like a steel trap. This is Jacobs, right on the 50. It'll take a good kick from here, but he's thinking about it, and why not? And having said that, of course, he goes short to the pocket.
The swing on the left.
Dixon comes back outside the 50 to Crawford. Crawford may find himself a little further from goal than the man before him in the self-same position. Now he decides to play on. Crawford from the 50, down towards full forward then, and the mark is taken by Holland.
He's done very well since he came back on in the second quarter. Looks had a little bit of a purple patch for the first 5 minutes on him in this third quarter.
Holland has taken 7 marks to him.
All of them since he's come back on in this second spell, since halfway through the second quarter.
His best effort ever against Sydney, 10 marks in a qualifying final in 96 and round 9 of 98. So in some respects recalling the heady days. Holland directly in front, needs to kick it. It's terrible. He sprays it out to the right. Well, try as he might. Those heady days are very elusive. It's three-quarter time at the SCG and the Swans in total control. They lead at 12-8 to 4-6. The margin is 50 points.
At last, Monday nights are back to normal.
I reckon you sat here, Mike, last year and argued the reverse 6 or 7 times.
The boundary umpire chickens out, and it is just a terribly wrong decision.
This week, the boys welcome Rodney Eade, the man at the helm of the Doggies revival. What better way to spend tonight? On the couch, live from 8:30 Eastern.
You're gonna die! I've never seen anything like this. His ass is immense. That he just refuses to drink any other bourbon. You know what we're witnessing here tonight? We're witnessing a man staying true to the world's finest bourbon.
Wednesday, on another exclusive Fox Footy feature, find out how AFL football is making dramatic inroads into the American sporting culture on Aussie Rules USA. Join Tiffany Cherry as she takes an exclusive look at the 2004 US Footy National Championship.
My dream to get drafted and be the first American drafted.
Plus, we have unlimited access as Kevin Sheedy molds a new generation of AFL footballing talent.
I don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 or 20 years. We're starting to get pretty excited.
Aussie Rules USA, Wednesday, exclusive to Fox Footy Channel.
Everett might have been a little miffed at being overlooked for the captaincy. He was the best and fairest last year and the best clubman, but they thought he wasn't the best option for captain. Crawford lays the tackle. Buchanan quick to Jude Bolton, inside 50 again. It seems as if the ball's been there the whole game. Inside 50 for the Swans. Davis can't get there quickly enough. We'll get a ball in. And a great afternoon's work for the Swans. And the 356 game at Paul Roos has them motoring early after a couple of
Vanderberg
performances as a coach in the last couple of years since taking over from Rodney Eade. Tackle laid by Loney on Matthews. It's going nowhere. And we'll get another ball up. Chance Bateman, last man up. 13 games last year. Chance Bateman Copper weak for striking in round 19. But has played his way into a permanent spot. This Hawthorn lineup. Everett trying to inspire something. Little toe poke to Thurgood. It was clever. Smith. Kick along the boundary line. Can it be grabbed by Brennan? Luke Brennan can't keep it alive. And we'll get another ball in. Nix, McVeigh ball, and Schneider on the bench. It's McVeigh furthest from the screen. They had a big launch, the Sydney Swans, the Sydney Harbour. They all went sailing and he ended up with rope burns. Couldn't train for a day. Luckily, as O'Kane was able to play.
That's what he says. On the 50, Williams. Well done. Gets 3. Goes from 45. Hasn't got the carry. Well, had the carry, but not the accuracy. Through for a minor score. 51 points then. Williams has been, as he generally is, very good this afternoon for the Swans.
He's one of those players, I suppose, when Michael Tucker would have been 32, you'd have thought there's not long left. He's 32. How long can a player keep going? But Williams at that age now, you're thinking, the end is near. But really, his body is not disintegrated. He's just as quick. He's just as fit. And so you'd have to apply the question here is, how long can he keep going? It's probably another 3 or 4, the way he seems to be moving.
18 possessions today for Paul Williams. Everett kicks it out of bounds on the wing this time. Suited by this ground too, because he's very much an acceleration player.
Yep.
15-20 metres, that's when he's at his most dangerous.
Brilliant tackler too, Paul Williams.
Yep.
A lot of people look at him as such an offensive player, but his ability to contain, especially with tackling, is first rate.
Spider could have almost got a free kick there. Goes again. Lays it off. Bateman.
He's probably been Hawthorn's best chance, Bateman.
22 possessions. Well
called.
We fixed him. Out of bounds on the floor. Fatigue.
So a Swans free kick at half-back, and it'll be taken by Jude Bolton. 81 plays 30. 51-point lead for the Swans. Chip kick backwards to Goods.
And what needs to happen here is, at the moment, a 50-point lead to the Swans. If they go through to the end of the game and it's a 50-point win, you say the better team won. They've had a good day, solid performance. Hawthorn weren't up to their standard. They're not as experienced yet. But if they let it get any further than this, it is a smacking.
Johnny went to Maxfield, but he fumbled it. Crawford comes up with it after they kick off the deck. Dixon can't mark. Goods. He fumbled it, had enough time to grab it back again and get up. Williams, the man we were speaking of, gives it to Matthews. The don't argue to Crawford. Got it away back to Williams. Well played. Over the top to Maxfield. The old men combining. Down to the Irishman. Kennelly. Long kick. Hoping for O'Keefe. Got it.
I think the point is, though, Dan, you want to kick more than 4 goals, even if you kick the margin at 50 points, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. You get to your 8 or so, I suppose, for the match. Even if they kick their 4 more as well.
Known goal kicker O'Keefe, but goes to Hall, who's just edged out of it illegally. Had his arm dragged down, Barry Hall. The man who is both the former and current Hawk, Trent Crowe, had a little argument with the umpire, but he gave it up pretty quickly. That was a free under the new rule.
Yeah, well, we keep saying it's a new rule, but it's always been in. It's just been stronger in its, I suppose they've clamped down on it a bit more, but it's always been there. You've never been allowed to hook your spoiling technique, your hand, onto a marking player's arm and pull it away.
He's got 3, Barry Hall. He's had an inaccurate day. 3 goals, 4. Dermot, you want to put your house on this one like you did the last one in the pocket?
Oh, he's kicking well, but it's a tougher shot.
You're good. You are very, very good. Only a behind.
I wish I was as close a personal friend as you are to some of the famous folk that are here, Dwayne.
I saw Nicole down there. She asked how you were, Dennis. Me?
That's a mistaken identity, obviously, as Smith goes towards the outer side. Look at that over the top Nix.
She said, how's the centimetre perfect?
Crowe did very well there to stand his ground. Great to see following Australian football. Always the Swans. Ladson around the outer side. Hodge on his chest. Gives it across to Loney.
Better movement. Poor delivery.
Close to the boundary line is taken by Barry going back, and I think Collingwood have got a couple of big-name Hollywood guests for their luncheon on Monday. I'm not sure that's public, so I won't talk too much about it. Close to the boundary line, fisted out by Hodge.
Just between us, though, Dennis, who's going?
Well, I think it's a married couple.
Well, that discounts Brad and Jen.
Ooh, that's dangerous too. Down he came on his forearm there, Nix. Hooked behind the pack, Matthews, that come from Holland initially. Well, falling over was Brown, charging in was Crode, and just sent the poison chalice across to Osborne, who's penalised for holding the ball. Well, that was a lack of conviction from about 3 Hawthorn players right there.
Got into his move before he secured the ball, Campbell Brown.
Now the Hawks haven't kicked a goal since the first minute of the third term. That was Crawford racing into that open goal. And now Nick Davis is lining up for his fourth. As Dwayne said earlier, kicked 4 goals in round 1 last season against Brisbane. They all came in the first half, and from then on managed to complete only 11 more games and was dogged by injury. And he kicks his fourth right here. Great start to the season, Nick Davis.
That's a good result for Nick Davis on the board, and even here Hawthorn outnumbered 3-1 their opponents. Now it's 3-2. Now it's 3-3 as they converge, and they come up with it, the Swans.
So jolly to do the ruck work against Everett. They've got it wrapped up, and they've had it wrapped up for a while. Smith the takeaway, high towards half forward. A race on between Ball and Hong. Ball to his own advantage, couldn't break free with it. Brennan. Harry Miller tries to keep it alive, but will get another ball in. Paul Roos, calm as ever.
I would imagine 15 minutes left to play in a match. If you're 58 points up, you think you'd hold the whip hand.
It'll be about next week for Sydney now, Dermot.
Oh, yeah.
Free kick against Holland. It goes to Jolly. Aaron Miller thought he was going to get an opportunity to run away. Bevan still half back, the Swan. Keith peels off wide. That's ignored. He goes down the middle. Kirk. Vandenberg gets there to affect the spoil. Everett thought about the Shepherd. Peeled off for the handball. Vandenberg couldn't get it out. And we'll get another ball up in the centre of the ground as we go down to Jason McCartney.
Yeah, Dwayne, it's obviously the Swans are looking ahead to next week. We've had Barry Hall, Ryan O'Keefe, and then Lewis Roberts-Thompson all come off the ground. Massage on the calf. Cramping's been a bit of an issue, so freshen him up for next week.
Everett hooked it down. Now the ball will come back. It's going to be a free kick to Ladson. Interesting to note, Hawthorn's lowest ever score of the SCG is 63 points, 8-15-63, round 4 of 1985. This is their 21st game here. The kick comes into the 50, intended for Dixon, picked up by Williams, rarely sighted this afternoon.
First touch.
Puts it back towards full forward. And I was right, knocked away from goal. Now Miller foxing for a free kick. The cousin of Daniel Wells, as a matter of fact, and we'll have a ball up about 40 metres out from goal. So 21 games here, Hawthorn, their lowest score, every chance of being registered this afternoon, so hardly the start that Alistair Clarkson would have been looking for on such a glorious day. Here's the bounce. Everett props in front. Ball tried to come over the top. Everett did brilliantly to Ladson, opening up the middle, and he kicks the goal. Wonderful ruck work, good finish.
Indiscriminate hit just out away from the bounce down, but Ladson goes to a dangerous place. There stays the corridor. Somehow finds its way to him. It's a rehearsed play, a fair bit of luck in it. Good execution. At the other end for the last 5 minutes, Johnny Hay's been sort of hobbling around. I think it is just cramp at the moment. He's found himself on the bench.
Trying to put some respectability back into the scoreboard, Hawthorn. 13 minutes to travel to full time. Can't break free, lads, and tackled hard. And they're not happy about that, a few Hawks. Everett, Bolton, Vandenberg has only had 1 possession since half-time. Richard umpiring. He plays it on straight away. Big thump down. Brown. Bevan was there. Schneider at Topo. Bevan steals it. Kicks around the body, but it's wide. And it's out of play on Thorne. It wasn't touched.
That's good footy though, Dwayne. I mean, Spider Everett, the boy gets back slammed by a big man. It's a brutal tackle.
I think in golf they call that lift, clean and place, don't they?
And it's brutal, and it's within the rules. Spider Everett doesn't like it happening to one of his younger players, remonstrates.
Hodge kicks it inside the 50. Barry couldn't complete the mark. Dixon, did he have the football? In goes Bolton, tries to go to Nix. Head down, Latson did well. Done a bit of that last goal, and we'll have a ball up. 88 plays 36.
Oh, there's Spider remonstrating. Well, that's good. He's standing up for his younger players. Yeah. And then the umpire comes in and just throws the ball up, and play disperses, or the scuffle disperses straight away.
Here's the bounce. Everett in the action again. Knocks it down straight to Barry. It was ambitious trying to get through there. The hand pass comes across from, I think it was McVeigh. Buchanan gave it to support Bolton taken down. Matthews to Crouch. Buchanan once more over the top. Maxfield on the break. Has one bounce. Goes beyond the wing. Probing kick inside the forward 50, and Holland comes across and takes a timely defensive mark. Plays on, and now Loney.
He's got a lot of places to go. Back to Holland, back to Loney.
He's on the ball now, Nick Holland, as the ruckman.
That's where stats don't mean a lot sometimes. Franklin, he couldn't steal it. Nix, he did pinch it. Goes toward Davis. Nearly raked it in. Down the arm. Bevan off the deck. It's a miracle.
Well, you'd be forgiven for thinking he's come from a soccer background after that one. It is a rugby league background, we can assure you. And he lines this one up and aims it off the deck. Dick Davis went very close to marking this. Just spilled forward of him a little bit too far. That's a good solid swipe off the deck.
$158 points. Quick thinking this. Almost the mark. No hesitation. Bevan just slamming it through. 14-10, 5-6. Still just under 11.5 minutes to play. Everett continues to battle on. Matthews goes to half forward. And then he got the last goal. Bevan takes the mark. It's about 55 metres out. Sets it up high towards the pocket. Davis works in front and claims it on his chest.
He called for that one out against Michael Osborne and just shielded the area where the ball was going to drop to.
Oh, this is terrible by Hawthorn. Williams has run off. Oh, that's better by Hawthorn. Well done by Osborne. He was standing the mark. He got back. He applied pressure, forced the error. Crowd, it bounces off Hodge. Coming out is Ladson. Kicks it up towards the wing, and the mark is taken by Doyle. Well, Osborne saved face for the Hawks right there. Turned around and worked back 15 metres when all seemed lost, and applied a wonderful tackle on Williams. That was just terrific by Osborne, because the scoreboard shows there's not an awful lot to play for. Ladson's got the footy now.
Goes backwards. 10.5 minutes remaining. Crowd. Now Holland on his own on the wing. Takes the mark before Bevan can close him down. Bateman. Lurking is Brennan. Too far out to score. Hopes for the lead. Gets it from Williams. Hasn't had a big day, Williams. In fact, I'm not sure he's touched it. Keeps it alive.
Second kick.
To his third touch then. Handballed it to himself, got it to Franklin. He couldn't take the mark and the Swans are away. Although Barry's handball to Buchanan put him under immense pressure. Miller gave the free kick away. Swans to advantage. Nix. Davis is calling for it long. He goes to McVeigh instead. Davis still calling for it. In his direction now, and he's got it! He almost beat two. Just spoiled. Last second. Crowe gets the kick away. It'll only be temporary out of the danger zone because Maxwell's got it. Dumped into the tackle by Brown. And that could be ball. Tackle. It is ball.
He's been very good, Brown.
Boy, one thing Campbell Brown has done, as he's always done, he's just run straight at the player with the ball. He doesn't buy any dummies. He doesn't buy any candy.
Crowe, the other side, Osborne goes to half forward on the lead. Dixon about 65 metres out from goal.
Now Everett's got two 6'5" to contend with.
And that's a good pass.
Well, there you go. That's a good option. Spider Everett going down to full forward. Ball's on him. Doyle dropped back as well anyway. So there was two blokes. Well, he's got over 13 foot of ruckman down there on Spider. So he goes for the leading player in Mark Williams. If you know what I mean.
I know.
Yeah.
There's Williams. As we've said, it's had a quiet day, but he's suddenly sprung to life on the forward line, buzzing about. I think his celebration here will be muted if in fact he kicks a goal.
It's normally a beautiful kick.
They're straight through the middle. Well done. Hawthorn keep plugging.
Yeah, I think the shotgun's been put away until it can come out on regular occasions. There's no point in celebrating if you're down by 10.
Need Mark Williams to fire. They've lost their leading goal kicker from last year, Nathan Thompson, and Mark Williams is second on their goal kicking list with 33 as Bolton pumps the Swans inside 50 again. Big hip and shoulder, maybe high. Schneider will get the free. And they're not happy. How did you see that one, Dan?
Yeah, he went in to lay the bump, and the point of his hip, I reckon, gets him on the head.
Michael Osborne.
Did it make contact? Yep, sure did.
I reckon it did. Oh, was he playing the ball?
Yeah, he's going for the bump, but the bloke went to ground before he got there.
Schneider. Number 36 turned into a number 13. Didn't have a great season in the 13. It was a bit unlucky last year, but slots this one through.
It was an aggressive act. He did very well to spoil the ball. Michael Osborne kept it in front of him. He knew he was going to lay the bump there. Schneider slid in, got his knees onto the deck, lowered his height. Almost, you could say, he drew the foul there. And worked for him, got a goal.
Certainly you've got 9 goal kickers this afternoon. Everett again knocks it down. Crawford, rarely cited in this term, played well in the third, goes down towards full forward. Jacobs. Good strong grab in from the side.
On occasions last year, I think a couple of the games that Hawthorn won out of their 4, Danny Jacobs did go forward and was a pseudo key target up there. Pseudo key forward, that is.
Jacobs. Like him from here. 20 metres out. No angle to speak of. Comes in. Goal umpire travels a fair way, but it's okay. Hawthorn get their 6th. 7th. Scoreboard is quick there.
And we like him from there, Fennick, and we'd like the Easter Bunny from kicking from that distance today, and applicable too. Directly in front. 15, 16 metres out. Well read by Shane Crawford. That's an instinctive ability to see the hands as they're going to the ball to tap it in whichever direction.
Margin cut back to 52 points. We've ticked into time on final term. Just under 7 minutes remaining. Ladson got the handball up to Jacobs. Good work by Ladson. Left foot kick. Not two in a row. Only a behind.
He's found a bit of the ball since he's gone into the middle, Rick Ladson. Not the quickest player, but quite constructive.
Pinelli to himself. Just correcting myself, that last goal for Jacobs was their 7th. The scoreboard operator like breeze lightning here at the SCG. Here's Nix. 6.5 back. Up towards the wing. Coming back hard was Brown. It was fearless, but Bolton took the mark. Now play on's the call. Jacobs comes in quickly. That's holding the ball. Well done. And the commitment by Brown actually worked to good effect as far as the Hawks were concerned. Coming off the interchange, Williams collects Bateman. And that's always dangerous. Bateman didn't expect him to come from that corner, and Williams just raced onto the ground and upended him. Meantime, Crawford's in the pocket. We've got a whistle, and Dixon's got a free kick 25 metres out.
Now, Leo Barry, just as Ben Dixon jumped, he then, what do you call it, like a tunnelling in basketball when they move them under the flight of the ball. Hands were down for Leo Barry. He wasn't going for the ball there. Pushed him under it. Touch and go. It's one of those ones, if they pay that in the first minute, you've got to expect them to pay it all day. Probably only had it a couple of times though today.
Dixon. His day started well enough with the opening goal at the 2-minute mark. Dixon 45, trying to work it back left to right. I think it's okay. It is. Dixon gets his second.
I think Paul Williams was fairly kind to Chance Bateman. Could really do some damage like that if he really came out and just went in low into the body of an opponent. He could really do some damage. I reckon the worst hits you take are when you're exhaling as well if you're on the run.
Here's the incident with Bateman and Williams off the bench in Hart. Had the option of tackling. Went the hip and shoulder.
Actually watched Chance after that. He turned around to some of his teammates and said, "Why didn't you tell me he was there?" They said, "We didn't know."
I think he was talking to the interchange steward.
Lead cut back to 45 points. Ladson wraps up McVeigh and we'll get another ball up. It's Doyle getting some work done on an ankle. Pretty good afternoon though. In fact, most of them have. Vandenberg not getting much of it at the moment though. Bateman gave it to Everett. Wobbles it inside 50. Holland attacked it nicely. Crawford. He kicked a goal that wasn't allowed seconds ago. And this will be allowed, but it's out of bounds on the full. And it'll be another free kick to Leo Barry.
Actually, there aren't many games in the world that let people come on and off like Brown's Cows. There's ice hockey, there's ours. I can't think of too many more. I think it's dangerous. Myself.
Yep.
Barry waits for the football.
I'm actually in your corner on this one, Dennis.
I'm doubting myself.
What about when they change the fielders in cricket?
Yeah, but they can't do it while the ball's being bowled.
And it's bad form. It's not good sportsmanship. Well, you shouldn't go there really after the other night.
Yeah.
Good sportsmanship. It's not good sportsmanship to run as the ball is being bowled to another position.
You shouldn't yell out that you're on. I'm on.
Here's Barry. I'm moving now, sir. Off hands and out of bounds. It'll be thrown in. Dying minutes of this one. 100 plays 55.
The unwritten rule, Dennis, if a bowler's on his way in, starts on his run-up, you can't start moving your field.
Oh, of course not. Well,
you move in with the bowler.
Yeah, move in,
but that's expected.
You can't go from fine leg to backward square and run 20 metres as Red Lee's on his approach. Well, you can, I suppose, but it's frowned upon. The hand pass comes from Kirk and goes across the line. Sometimes you see players who think they're clear and they're very sort of susceptible to being picked off. And we saw it there. And as you said, I think Williams was kind as he came across.
Smith free here.
27, 274. Everett tried his heart out. Well done, Nick. Somehow it finished up with Bolton to Kirk. Goes back to the middle. Bevan. Held up by Hodge for long enough. Now it's going to be 50. Well, Hodge realised that Maxfield had taken off down the ground and there was going to be a problem anyway. So he flirted with it and paid the price. And now Bevan comes within scoring range.
That Hayden Kennedy, I think he's been fairly kind to Lukey Hodge as well. I think he gave him a 40-metre penalty then.
Paul Bevan, hard in an underplay. I like his game today. Steps to the 50, which is 50. Goes with the outside of the boot. Wanders towards the pocket. Camped in front, an opportunity for Buchanan. Comes back to O'Keefe, wheels around, snaps from 35, hobbles away in celebration, and he's cramped up. The agony and the ecstasy.
Swings onto the left foot. Natural kick for him here. Trent Crowe can't get a hand on him. It's actually a pretty simple shot once he gets a sense of his balance.
Swans will win. They've had it wrapped up for a while now. Don't want any injuries though. Maybe another goal or two would be handy. Williams, Buchanan back towards Williams, coming hard though from the opposite direction. Hodge doesn't take it out. Bevan, ball alive. Back to Williams. He can kick them from here. Goes to the pass. McVeigh on his own. It was too easy. Shrugs the tackle. Oh, he made it a bit tougher. Kick off the man coming. Roberts Thompson. No, tell me McVeigh's going to kick it now. That's as crazy can get.
Well, the correct result there. The sun played a part. Good backman, that son, isn't it? That affects a lot of spoils here.
Trying to work out if this is one of the greatest goals of the SFO, one of the worst.
I don't think it's going to figure in either at the end of the year's highlights. Fine.
(17-10), 8-7. Jolly and Everett. Jolly won that one. Buchanan charges in, goes after it again, still going. Franklin handles it down towards half forward. The man who started on Franklin, Goods, in the opposite direction. Knocked out wide by Maxfield. Well played. Matthews, underrated player. That's a good kick to half forward, pushing the back surely. Well, chop on the arm. Says the umpire. Chop on the arm. So
he's got good closing speed, Johnny Hay. Very, very quick last couple of steps when the ball arrives in.
Roberts Thompson down towards the pocket. In front, it's taken there by Sewell. That's been the story of his day, really. Taken the ground.
He's been in the vicinity of the ball and given it or picked it up and been flat-footed each time, almost not through any case of his own, except for when he got run down in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And he keeps getting, he's probably been tackled more times than any other player on the ground. That's one over the shoulder and a free kick there.
And it's going to Jolly, who's already booted a couple this afternoon.
Well, that's going to be a nice start for Aaron Jolly. If he can get a goal here, that'll be 3 for the afternoon. It'll be 15 possessions, 10 kicks, 5 handballs, 5 marks. That's a good outing for him if he can do this.
No easy kick, but it will open up for the right footer as he comes around. He kicks his third goal. It will be a career best. Not over 40 games, as Dwayne said, for Melbourne. So he's had his chances before, but this afternoon he's taken them. And he comes, and his confidence is on the rise. He's put in 3.
That's a good afternoon for Aaron Jolly. Good Good outing for him. Yeah, Nick just clawed onto him, a little bit of height over the top of Nick Holland. He tries to claw over the top of him. And Darren Jolly brings up another 6-pointer. 18 for the Sydney Swans now.
Perfect debut for Darren Jolly in the red and white. 18-10. Sydney, Hawthorn 8-7. Sydney didn't kick more than 18 goals in any games last year. 18 was their best. Now, this might be a sign if they can get 19 or 20 to open this season that they have the scoring again.
That's a submission hold.
Is that what it is?
Quickly.
He bike racked him.
You men of wrestling. Inside 2 minutes.
Just trying to think who had that move, actually.
Kangaroos next week for the Swans.
Had a little bit of the camel clutch about it.
No, there was actually a move. I wish my son were here.
Everett. Bateman. Vandenberg. Handball smothered. Here go the Swans. Matthews looks up. Free kick. Play on advantage, is it? It's coming back to Buchanan, who was dealt with illegally by Vandenberg. Umpire didn't think the advantage was big enough, so brings it back. 90 seconds to full time.
And the Hawks have got about 4 extra players inside defensive 50, just blocking up a kick in there.
Rikichi.
Yeah.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yeah, the big bleached blonde fella. The Islander. Yeah, he used to put him into his armpit as well.
They're just chipping it around getting stats here.
I think that was the stinky move, wasn't it?
Barry, Kennelly, Matthews, and now Goods. It's football that's not really worth talking about anyway.
That's right, he used to get them into the turnbuckle and back into them.
Matthews.
Allegedly.
This is going to be Sydney's biggest win over Hawthorn since round 10, 1980, when the Swans won by 84 points.
Sorry, Dwayne.
Kennelly. Matthews. As I said, it's not worth talking about. They're racking up the stats, and they just do not count these positions.
Their own fans are booing it.
Kennelly. Barry wants it back again. Matthews says, I'll have another kick, thanks, Tyke. No, he's not going to go back again. He goes, Spider comes hard. Barry's crunched on the rebound. Can the Hawks make them pay at least a little bit? High handball, no to McVeigh. Thinks about Kirk. Goes longer. Maxfield. Barry. And there's a free kick. It'll come back. Take it home, Dennis, will you?
Bit going on there. What do they do now? It's always an awkward situation. The siren's gone. You're in the midst of a tussle.
You know what does happen now, though, that is unusual? Siren goes, they slam into each other, and within 5 seconds they shake hands and say, see you later, mate. One thing that won't change is the win by Sydney. 63-point win here for the Sydney Swans. 18-10, 118. Hawthorn, 8-7, 55. Lukey Hodge, there he is. There you go. Luke turns around, shakes their hands now. Yeah, slam it into him a couple of minutes ago. Shake their hands now. He copped a bit of punishment today, Lukey Hodge. Hawks eye and the likes. They were just too good from the outset. Apart from the first minute of the game, the Swans, a much more composed outfit, more settled in more positions across the ground. They won more of the ball after quarter time. And transferred the ball from one end to the other in a lot better fashion. Inside 50s. Sydney Swans 47, Hawthorn 37. So they dominated pretty well across the ground.
Next Sunday we're in Launceston, Durham. That should be a terrific game. Looking forward to that one. St Kilda and Freo. What do you think?
Well, it's going to be a tough journey for Freo, but St Kilda seemed to like playing down there, and I don't think they were too bad the other night either.
No.
So, but they're missing their kingpin now.
Big game. Big game.
That'll be next Sunday. But here from the SCG, it was the Swannies by 63 points.